Man, welcome all to another good episode, great episode, long time coming, brother from another mother, man. Real shit. Let's talk podcast, man. Welcome, Bishop, man. How you doing, man?
Good, bro. How you?
I'm doing good. I've had it out for you to talk about fourth quarter pressure. How do you deal with that? I've been dealing because I watch you now. I'm gonna tell you why.
Fourth quarter pressure.
Fourth quarter pressure.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've been seeing you, like you was on your balcony and you was talking. You did it every morning consistently, and you were working out. And you would, it would flip the scene.
Yeah, my balcony talks.
And so I was like, you know what? Fourth quarter pressure. He got to know about it because you do so much. So let's get into it.
Man, fourth quarter pressure. So let's dissect it. So what's fourth quarter? Fourth quarter is pretty much the last 3 months of the year, right? Pressure is a action, or I guess some type of force that's going to make you do something that you may or may not necessarily want to do.
Correct.
So fourth quarter pressure is basically the combination of that. It's getting your shit done. So this is the Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. Getting your shit done at a timely manner to make sure that you're actually set up for not only for that fourth quarter, but also to lead into the first quarter for the next year. So, I mean, that's my interpretation of that. Having that micro impatience to have that that micro impatience to have that macro patience in the future. You know what I'm saying? So you have a whole year, right? So within the whole year, you need to have your macro patience. Now, within the seasons, like the 3 months in between, you need to have your micro impatience. So that's where you actually have like the best of both worlds to actually balance the push and the pull to make sure that you're still hungry, you're still going after what you need to do, but at the same time too, like you're not like driving yourself crazy where like you're trying to build Rome in a day.
Okay. And so with you though, like at all that you do, how do you structure? What's a typical structured day for you?
Oh man,
in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, the fourth quarter is actually the first quarter of 2025. Like I'm already like setting up things already, even from like the end of the third quarter, I should say, to set up for the first quarter of 2025. So that's what it looks like for me.
Okay.
And just putting people in position of power to to make sure that they are able to succeed. And then the way that they succeed is through me succeeding. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's never about me. It's about the people who I serve and the people who I work with. I'm just a vessel for these people. So that's how the fourth quarter really looks in my perspective, to really, really hone in on just understanding what needs to be done, all the tasks, all the challenges that we need to do for the next year, and just preparing for that, man. You ain't got to get ready till you stay ready. You know what I mean? So
do you hold your whole team up to that standard?
Yes, absolutely. If I can't, first of all, here's the thing. So I have to make sure that I hold myself to the highest standard possible. It's only the best when it comes to my companies, my main company, only the best concierge. If I don't do that for myself, then how the hell can I actually do that for my people? If I'm over here like, just sleeping in, not worried about drinking my water, minding my business, making sure that I get all the nutrition, making sure that and I do slip at times, like everybody does, but most of the times I'm always like diligent as far as like what I'm eating, what am I putting in my brain, what am I putting in my body, how am I working out, how am I showing up, etc. Then how the hell am I going to be able to actually expect that of my team? I can't. That doesn't make any sense. It's just I'm a walking contradiction. At the end of the day, I'm a walking contradiction to certain things, but when it comes to, because I did say that actually when I taught my networking masterclass, I am a walking contradiction with certain things, but I digress. But when it comes to things that are like directly affecting me and my team and the people who I represent and me being a leader of, no, I can't contradict myself.
Okay. So I see that, building your team, structure, you're the leader and everything. Do you have, what is it called? An ace? One person that you can go to, or is it your whole team? when you do drop the ball.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. No matter what, even if I had an ace to fall back on, and if I do drop the ball, here's the thing. I'm the last line of defense. I'm the person that everybody looks after me when it comes to all my companies. So regardless of the fact that if I put, let's just say this, if you are my right-hand man, right? You're the person that handles everything. If you drop the ball, right? You know what that means? I drop the ball. The reason why that means that I drop the ball is because I actually put you in position to do that. So if you actually drop the ball, what does that mean? That means that I did not give you the tools and the right things in place for you to succeed. And even if you did everything that you were supposed to do, it's still my fault because I put you there. Damn. Being a leader and being the number one, like you can't. Sorry for cursing, but I know.
Shit, let's talk podcast.
Yo, you're right. So let me just say this. You can't fucking have it both ways. Okay. You can't be out here wanting the glitz and the glory and you want to be able to shake hands and kiss babies and all that. And then when shit hits the fan, when shit gets real, right? Real shit that gets real, then you'd be like, oh no, I put this guy in position. It's not my fault. No, like you're a clown if you actually do that. You just want the fruits. You don't want the labor that comes with it. So no matter what, yes, if things happen, if you even put people in position of power as far as like your organizational chart, your COO, your CFO, whatever it is, and if they fail, that's okay, that's fine, but you still have to look at yourself because there's a reason why they failed.
Correct.
Maybe you didn't put them in a position to actually for them to succeed fully, or they're not necessarily fit for the job. No matter what, you're the one that hired them. And even if you actually get a recruiter to actually hire those people, you hired a recruiter. so it's like, so do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how far or how much you try to tip dance or whatever you try to tap dance around it, it is your fault.
Right. I agree 100%. I think that too, it's a domino effect. That's what I'm hearing from it.
Yeah.
It being a domino effect, meaning that, hey, no matter how these chips fall, I am responsible. I am the first line of defense. I'm the last line of defense. And so guess what? Everything's on me.
And I want to, sorry to cut you off, but I want to like really like bring home to that type of mentality. When you put all the blame and all the onus, you got to think of it from a half glass full, not a half glass empty type of mentality. You have to be like, you know what? I actually have the glory and I actually have the privilege to actually take all of the responsibility because at the end of the day, like you are like the ruler of your life. You are the person that can actually fix it. If you put the onus and you put the blame and you put the accountability on somebody else, you know what happens when you do that, right? Then you're not taking the blame, but then like you're taking away that joy of actually learning from that experience for you to become better. That's the beauty of like becoming the, like the last line of defense, like the number one. Now, trust me, it does suck. It does suck ass at times because when you got to do payroll, when you got to freaking, talk to people who you don't want to talk to, screaming angry clients sometimes, depending on like, the situation. But you got to look at it as like, you know what? I have the full authority and the opportunity to really, really hone in and just be the master of everything to change what I got to change. So you are the ruler of your own nation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, you got a business there. You have multiple businesses, though.
Yeah.
So now I also heard we talked a little bit. You started a community.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And how was that going so far?
It's going good, man. It's going good. We have 12 members so far. I opened it up in Cyber Monday. So the day after actually my birthday. Okay. And so a little bit of back. Birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. So the company, the community, the academy is called Only the Best Academy. So basically what we do is we strive to teach people how to become the bishop of their own field and to also teach them how to make money and make more money in their own craft through the 1%. So with my concierge, I've been serving 1%, giving experiences with the 1% for a very, very long time, for over a decade. And everything I've learned are actually dealing and also serving high ultra net worth of people. I've learned delegation, personal development, professional development, hospitality, personal branding, unreasonable hospitality. I mean, just every networking, how to network as well too, learning your superpower, just everything. All the traits and all the strategies and experiences I've had, now I've actually bundled it into teaching people how to be the bishop. So the bishop is the most powerful piece in chess, in my personal opinion. It protects and serves the needs and wants of the king and queen. Mm-hmm. Now, the king and queen are your clients. So whatever business you're in, the king and queen within chess are your clients. So to serve them the best way possible is that you have to become the bishop in that field to be able to serve them the best and the most efficient way as possible.
Okay. So then you said something just now. What's your superpower?
I have a couple, I think. So
okay.
One is, well, everything is God-given. That's number one. But directly God-given is my height. Me being 6'11". Yeah. 6'11". That's really what God has definitely given me. Now, on top of that, me being 6'11", I also do have a vernacular. I do also have a way of about speaking where a lot of people, me being that big and that tall, and me being able to speak is actually a great combination. So I think because of that, that's also my superpower on top of that. People gravitate towards me. People really love to just hear me speak and want to be around my energy when it comes to that.
So you're the life of the party.
Yes, I am definitely the life of the party. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Your height.
My height, yes.
And just good conversation in the house.
Good conversation, being very, very hospitable, and just being a magnet to people for, because I started out as security. So I opened up Story in 2012 with David Grutman. Mm-hmm. So that right there, being able to be security for his clients, I was able to really, really hone into my natural God-given ability, which is just being able to provide and also nurture and also protect.
Okay.
So, because not only because of my size, but I feel like that's also my mindset as well.
Right. Because pretty much, I don't think anybody would want a problem with a 6'11" guy.
Not with a 6'11" guy that can fight.
Right.
Because most people who are my height and my size cannot fight. That's the difference. And also, not only I can fight with my hands, but I can also fight with my brain. So it's a trifecta right there too.
Okay. Now, we just spoke briefly about it.
I've
been seeing you work out with Wes Watson. And listen, you be in there. He seems like to be the true definition of working out. You know how there was those people that, hey, I'm a personal trainer and I train you, No, you get with his ass. He's like, you listen, you going to be a little bitch about it or what?
So number one, he's not a personal trainer, but he does teach people how to build their own personal brand and also their online fitness coaching. Okay. So he is a person that I've met actually a long time ago, but I was actually I found out a way to actually provide value to him where he saw me as a person where he wanted to connect with. So it wasn't just no random thing about okay, let me just link up with him, because number one, he's a very valuable man. He's a very important man as well too, especially in the society. So for you to really connect, and this is something I actually teach within my academy, with how to connect to the 1% of that level, you not only need to be hey bro, how can I provide value to you? No, you need to fucking figure out how can you provide value. So what I did was I was like, you know what? Wes Watson, he does podcasts. Obviously, you go on interviews with podcasts, 10 racks for you to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't cheap, but it's definitely worth it because he's a walking viral machine. So I actually connected it with him, with one of my other clients that actually wanted to interview him. So then after that, he saw that. He's like, yo, listen, come through to the gym. Let's work out. Let's clang and bang real quick. And, me making that connection, it was more, when I got the opportunity, it was more than just the working out. Right. It was him just being around his aura. Let me tell you, shout out to Wes Watson, man. Let me just say that right now, because he's the type of person, especially in the type of people around him, is if you want to be better, it's not about just paying him and also his mentorship. You gotta actually fucking need to want it, if that makes sense, and you either level up with him and get on his level, or you just curl up like a little bitch and you never ever do it again. Because when I went up in there and we were working out, I was like, damn, these guys are friggin' way more in shape than me. They got way more money than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they working out with Rashard Millies and all that stuff and everything, and APs and Rolexes, and I'm like all tatted up and yoked, ripped, rare, and rich, how he says. And I was like, dog, okay, I gotta come correct. So we made content and everything else too, and then we did that. I don't drive. I take an Uber, but this is actually very important. The way that he made me level up in that one specific area was monumental, because it's a mindset shift. Mm-hmm. It's a mindset shift every single time. The foundation when it comes to everything, when it comes to changing, when it comes to evolving, is your mindset. I know when it comes to coaching and everything else, like everybody else says that. Like everybody says, oh, it's all about the mindset. Like it really, really is. So I'll give you an example. After we were working out and we were like, doing our thing, he hopped in his friggin' half a ticket, half a mil friggin' G-Wagon, had a friggin' Evo, a Cullinan, all these other guys are running to friggin' Pura Vida. I had to leave, right? But I took an Uber. So I was like, you know what? There is no way in God's green earth that I'm going to pull up with a friggin' Prius or a friggin' Toyota Corolla or a Camry or whatever, right?
Yes.
You know what I had to do? I had to call the Uber Black. Had to call that. So I had to call up a freaking Escalade to and from wherever I had to go. Now, as vain as that sounds, it's so powerful, because it's like, for me to do that, I got to make sure that, like, it's not about showing off. It's just about, if you are granted that space and you want to be granted that space again and again and again, you have to show up. And for you to show up on their level, you have to show up either on that level or maybe even close. So that right there, I'm like, okay, it cost me $26 to go from here to there, maybe like a mile or whatever, right? Then it cost me $20 to call another Uber Black to go back to my place. You know what that means? I got to make more money. I got to become more successful. I have to, gain more status. So just that alone, that experience alone was well worth the experience of what Wes gave me, because it just permanently put that idea in my brain. Like, you know what? I got to go get it.
And so just leveling up, basically, now it's a part of the fourth quarter. Like doing shit like that and seeing yourself at another level. Like I feel like, seeing that, like I was like, damn. Like I know Brendan, he had the interview with
Shout out to Brendan Boyd, yeah.
He did that, and I seen a couple other people as well. And I'm like, yo, like Brendan, how did you? He was like, I was part of his mentorship, mm-hmm. and like say watching him do it, it's like, yo, yeah, I paid him X, Y, and Z 10 racks. It was nothing. I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm. But then here's the thing. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily about the 10 racks or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. It's about what it gets you.
Right.
10, 20, even 40-fold. Like, I mean, Brendan probably even in the misses right now. I mean, it's all good. But he told me when he did the 10 racks, he made 30, 40 bands on top of that.
Facts.
My guy, that interviewed Wes Watson, it just happened, whatever, for that, he's going to be making 10, 20, 40, maybe even 10x more than that. Right. So I understand that the money sounds crazy, but it's not crazy when you actually realize what you get out of it.
Right. So it's like the value, basically.
Yeah, man. That's all it is.
And
that's all it is.
I think like with that in itself stands alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's also with when it comes down to your services
mm-hmm.
and what you offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're above the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
You only serve the 1%,
mm-hmm.
and nothing else in a percentage wise is not 1%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how we always you take a test. You can get a perfect 100, but then you can go take a DNA test and it can be 99.9. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That 1%.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When you walk outside, 1%.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up in the morning, the only 1% really, truly actually wakes up and gets active or
mm-hmm.
gets to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I noticed you said, like, you take Ubers and different things of that nature. Is there a reason why you don't drive, or is it that it's safer?
So that's a really good question. So everybody asks me like, yo, man, why don't you get a car? So like, I may get like a vehicle, mm-hmm. but there's a bunch of things that does play upon it. Number one, I'm 6'11". So I can't really drive any single sedan, if that makes sense. I can't even fit in the freaking driver's seat, So for me to actually get it, I have to get like either Escalade or maybe like a Denali or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Ever since I'm becoming like more successful and just understanding that like I'm done trading my time for money, but I'm trading money for my time. I'm working on trying to get like a dedicated driver. I'm working on like trying to afford an Uber or just a driver so I can just utilize my time as much as possible. Because for me, I don't really care about driving that much. Now, here's another thing. All the other people who have like the supercars and like, like the Brahmases and like, the Uruses and the Bugattis and all that. First of all, 90% of those cars, I can't even fit in.
Facts.
I can't even fit in. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I just think that it'll just be more so of my time whenever I can actually get like a dedicated driver. Because when I am driven, I can actually make money. Like you can't really make money while you're driving unless you're actually a driver. But if you're driving yourself, you probably may not necessarily make money, but like if I'm getting driven, I can focus on other things that I can lead to making money. So that's where the mindset shift, occurs.
So then with the many business that you own and the roles of the top 1%, what do you think your 3-year goal to your 5-year goal is?
Oh, that's a good question.
We started at 3.
3 years. 3 years or less with my academy, I want to hit 5,000 users.
Okay.
That's number one. My concierge within 3 years, I want it to be a prominently known concierge company throughout the world. Now we're in 30 locations throughout the world right now, but I want the brand to be known all throughout.
I got you.
5 years, I want to be able to exit.
Sell it?
Mm-hmm. Most likely.
All the companies?
No,
just that.
Probably just concierge.
Okay.
Yeah. As I get older, I'm just realizing that, because I'm 38 right now, and I am transitioning more into less like nightlife club stuff and more experiences, and also doing more strategic partnerships with my clients.
Okay, like going to Dubai and doing things like that.
Going to Dubai as well too, but not only just serving people and giving experiences, but upgrading people's quality of life.
So with that say, are you ready to settle down, or have you already settled down, ready for kids?
No, I'm single. I am single as a dollar bill.
But are you ready to settle down?
I'm now about maybe a year and change out of a relationship, or yeah, you can call that a relationship. It is what it is. It just depends, honestly. It really does. You got to get somebody who really just understands you as a person and how you are.
Right.
And just understands the mission as well.
I think that's true. But then don't you think that there would be you would like to see another junior bishop? Just a little one, right? And
I want 3 kids.
Okay, you want 3
Yeah, I want 3 kids. Yeah, I do.
Right. So I would say this: do it before you're 40.
How old are you?
We around the same age.
Okay, I got you. You got kids?
Yeah.
Okay, how many?
3.
3. You got 3 kids. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've been really contemplating polygamy.
And this is where the saga continues and turns a different way.
Yeah, we can talk about it. I'm down. We can talk about it. Yeah, no,
polygamy.
seriously. Yeah, let's talk about it.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, here's the thing. And I've been talking about this like silently, but I want to have like an open conversation because this is the real shit. Let's have real shit conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Hope.
Where my mentality is now, right? I don't have any kids, right? I'm single. Me being 38, I want to have 3 kids. So it takes a village to raise a kid. That's number one. It takes a village to raise children.
Right.
So if I not only have one wife or maybe even 2 wives to be able to come together as a union to raise the kids and also raise his empire, and also to have multiple kids faster with 2 women. I don't believe in having multiple, like more than 2 women. No, I don't want to do that. If I would pursue the polygamous relationship route, it would be 2 women. That is it.
Damn. Well,
and then here's another thing too. Think about it. We talk about, which I do believe that men and women cheat fairly at the same rate. But let's just say for conversation that when men cheat more, right?
Okay.
I do believe that men cheat more because they are scared to be honest of their actual nature. I do believe that men are naturally promiscuous. Men want to have more than one woman. Men want to frolic and be able to soil their oats in multiple ways.
But I think that's it. Then here we go back.
Okay.
Touch it back. We
Yeah,
go
go
back
ahead.
to the 1%, right?
Yeah.
Because there are some people that, such as a conversation I had earlier. A gentleman, he knew a young lady for plus years, and they're in a happy relationship. And then, but that's who he sees as his person. Mm-hmm. And then the lady I interviewed today, her husband, that's now 6 years, was like, told her at 12 and her mom that, hey, guess what? I'm going to marry your daughter. And he did just that.
Okay.
Now, that's that 1%.
I got it. Yeah. All right, fair.
But you said polygamy, so you would want 2 wives.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not against monogamy.
Okay.
But I'm always about honesty. You know, high value men do not cheat. We exercise our options. And we have the opportunity to do that.
High value men.
Yes.
Say that again?
High value men do not cheat. They exercise options. When it comes to those and I deal with these high percenters all the time. Like, it's not about compromise. Mm-hmm. It's about, okay, this is who I am. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Either you get with the program or you don't. But I don't believe in lying. I believe in being honest with the women that you want to deal with. I'm honest with the women all the time that, like, hey, this is the option that I want to do, other than just sneak behind their back and cheat and become a loser and become a coward. You're a bitch ass nigga if you do that.
So,
and I do think that the world will be way better off
if we're
option. No, not well. That's another conversation for another day. Because I do believe that, especially in the black community, that polygamy is probably the only answer that we have, because they outnumber us literally 13, maybe 12 to 1, give or take. So, just to be very honest, like, for women not to die alone, we probably need to really, really seriously entertain polygamy. But I digress because I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about on certain percentages of men who are higher caliber, you do not have a choice, because 90% of the women want 10% of the men, or maybe even less than that. So if I'm a man that has built this world and build my value and build my resources to be able to get access to those women, right? And it took me blood, sweat, and tears for me to even get that. Now you want me to be quote unquote faithful to you when I have all this access to have women? Like, does that make sense?
I mean, I see your point.
So I want men to be honest with women, because we have to be honest with them.
I agree.
It's for them to give them the choice whether or not to deal with them or not. Because if you just think like, oh, baby, you know, I'm just going to be with you for the rest of your life, and I'm not going to fuck any other women. I'm just going to be faithful to you, and this and that is going to be our kids, and I'm just going to be loyal to you. It's lies. It's lies, bro. It's fucking lies.
I agree.
And we can't do that to our women. Be honest. Be honest up front. Stop lying to these women, because you know how you are. I know how I am. Now I know how I can be. I am not saying I can't be monogamous, but I am presenting them to every single woman that I talk to. Hey, this is how I would like it to be. I'm contemplating this. Are you okay with this? And if you're not okay with it, here's the door.
Well, shit. Drops the mic. So now, do you find, since you said that, now, because you're part of the 1%, do you find more women okay to be down with that?
That's a really good question.
You know, we're talking percentages.
Yeah. So I don't worry about what women say. I worry about what they do and what they respond to.
Okay.
Women can literally say this one thing and they literally do the other, and they respond to another thing. I'll give you a perfect example. When you were, let's say if you were single, right? And you just chilling and you ask a woman out, hey, I want to take you to, I don't know, Cheesecake Factory, right? Okay, cool. When she's like, oh, okay, I'll let you know. Will she let you know? Probably not. Exactly. When women say that, oh, I'll let you know, they don't let you know, if that makes sense. So for me, I don't worry about what they say. I worry about what they respond to, what they do, if that makes sense. So smart, high value women just understand those type of caliber of men and how they are. And they don't just necessarily deal with it. They understand what the compromise is, but they also have a compromise as well. I know a lot of women that are my clients, wives, and I've had conversations with them straight up. Like we're a whole family. They're like, yo, as long as you don't bring me no outside babies, you don't embarrass me in public, you don't, no STDs, you protect our brand, you do what you need to do. And this is actually another hot take that I truly, truly believe. I don't think the act of cheating is really the issue when it comes to with women. I don't think women have a problem with cheating. I don't think so from a overall standpoint. You know what they have a problem with? The embarrassment that comes with it. Every single woman that I actually have like a real conversation about this, right? You know what they tell me? It's like, yo,
this shit is good.
Yo, for real. Like, yo, they tell me straight up. They're like, listen, I asked them straight up, like, yo, like, was it really the cheating? No, you know what? It wasn't really, no, he just embarrassed the shit out of me. And I hated that. He embarrassed me in front of my friends. Women care more about their social status and their amplification more than anything else, in my personal opinion, because they're group thinkers. Right. Men are more like, we're kind of like Lone Rangers, which can be a fault, by the way. We shouldn't be Lone Rangers, not all the time. We should be able to come together and all that, right? But women are more group thinkers, if that makes sense. They care about what other women think. You know what I'm saying? So like if they have their man cheat on them and it's embarrassing, that's gonna hurt them more than the act of actually cheating.
So now you say men in that scenario, or past the scenario, but in polygamy, do you think women can do that though?
I'm not about what women can do. I'm worried about what they should do.
Okay, so what should they do? Go ahead. And
this is gonna give me a little trouble, but it's all good. They should be clinging on to their natural disposition, which is them wanting one man and one man only. Usually when women cheat, it's from an emotional standpoint, right? But it's usually a retaliation, a reaction versus the initial. Oh, he cheated, then I'm going to cheat back. I'm going to get my lick back. Every single time. I've never heard a woman in a good relationship be like, oh, I just want to fuck a dude today. Never. When they say that, they actually want to hurt the man back, if that makes sense.
Facts. I can see that.
So with that being said, yes, you can do whatever you want. It's your right. It's, you know, saying it's your free will to do it. But are you going to get the same results that you are going to get, like as your counterpart? Because remember, when women have sex with men, we conquer them in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? There's just more of a risk, in my opinion, when it comes to women doing it versus men. And you know what? That's just a double standard that we live in. We're praised for being promiscuous. Women are not. Even with slut shaming, and even with the slut shaming movement and everything else too, and you know, sexual liberation, still from the natural standpoint, women are just demonized for being promiscuous. Men are not.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So your ideal relationship would be polygamy.
It would be ideal, but it's not final.
It's not final.
No.
But it could change. You get bored and want to switch them up?
Would I want to switch them up? If I do, yeah, but it would be a conversation with my girl. See, for me, it would be like my queen, and then it would be like a sister wife. Like, there needs to be one woman that basically like I'm with, and then there would be like the sister wives after that. That's the way I look at it as. And I'm trying to tell you, man, if people have this mentality, we will be in less deep water.
Bishop number 1 and Bishop number 2, he is out for you.
And then here's another thing too. If I'm with a girl, right, and my wife, and she's not satisfied sexually, I would want her to tell me too. I would want her to be like, hey, this ain't really working for me. Can we do this? Can we work on this?
What if
It's
she wanted?
honestly,
What if she wanted? What if the sister
absolutely
wanted
not.
to bring?
Absolutely not. Another man?
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, that's just no. Sorry, can't do that. Sorry, because I'm not gonna look. Because I'm not as double standard as it sounds. I'm not gonna look at you the same way. I'm sorry, and most men won't.
Touche. Because
Like
somebody might be a lot dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
I can see that.
So you know,
So your ideal relationship is polygamy.
it would be, but I would not necessarily mind monogamy. Monogamy is definitely obviously on the table.
Okay, but then so monogamy. So would you say that when you guys go like third world countries, explore options that way? Excuse me, versus doing things in the U.S.
Like passport bros?
Huh?
Like passport bros? I have a lot more faith in my black women here in America. So I want to have more faith in them. So like I'm trying to, cause I will marry a black woman. Like that's the number one. Like I'm not looking for anything else other than that. Number one will be black women. Everything else is irrelevant in my eyes.
Okay. Black women, he's on the loose.
Yeah, because for me it's all about civic duty more than just being in a relationship and being loved. Like when I get married, it's gonna be not necessarily just for love. It's gonna be for duty. It's gonna be for my covenants, for serving my covenant, serving my black community, and also my legacy as well.
Okay. Will you still work as hard as you?
When I'm married?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, my purpose is always number one.
Okay.
My purpose is always number one. My woman would be second.
Okay. Now, when it comes to spiritual, how about that?
Yeah, I mean, God, man, woman, child. Period. End of discussion. It always has to be like that. See, what happens is, and this is the reason why too, I also say that the women needs to like the man more than the man likes the girl.
Why? Tell me that. Why?
So when men like the women more, there usually is a deleterious way of thinking where we are not necessarily worried about our purpose and our mission. We're actually making our woman our God and our mission. And once we do that, we are out of purpose. And then when the woman is like, oh, I don't really feel like this. Oh, I don't want this. Then we tend to lean on her feelings rather than what the mission is. If God is my God and God is my mission and God is number one, no matter what my woman says, I'm going to make sure that I serve God first. And then he reports to me, then I report to my woman. Okay. And then we will never, ever falter as far as making sure that our covenant is always going to be intact as much as possible. So we should never, ever make our woman our God, ever. Because if we do that, we are out of order.
Drops the mic again. Listen, Bishop, man, top 1%. That's how you going to be.
Yeah, man. Top 1%. I mean, 1% mindset, 1% action, 1% results. That's literally like our tagline when it comes to our community and also our academy as well. And with, my concierge. So you don't necessarily have to be the 1%, but you have to have that 1% mindset. And then once you do that, then you're closer to the 1% as you get, as you work.
Listen, guys, be the top 1%. That's what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, shape your mindset to be top 1% in any profession that you are. Be the 1% of yourself. Be the 1% of your family. Be the 1% just in general as leadership roles and mentors and everything that you do. Take actionable accountability for those things, and you'll get to that next level. And it doesn't happen overnight because it didn't happen overnight for you, right?
Over a decade of experience for me.
So like I say, you have to go through trials and tribulations. You have to go through so many monumental, difficult things that you probably don't want to do or have to do. But listen, be a top 1%er, man. Listen, any last words, Bishop?
Man, I'm so happy that we were able to do this finally. But I do think that everything does happen for a reason because I did not have my academy ready when we were supposed to do it. So now I got it ready. We actually had a fruitful conversation. I appreciate the opportunity again. And I can't wait to do this once more, man. I'm here. So yes, only the best.
Yes, sir. Listen, hey, this is going to be another part 2, guys. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in to Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. Listen, hey, click like, subscribe. Hey, join this academy. Hey, I got accountability community, accountability squad community for you guys as well. Listen, man, tap in. Appreciate y'all. We out.